Hi everyone, this is part 3 of the series on how can I become a better manager with little changes, and today it's all about delegation. Why delegation? Because that's the key for any manager to succeed. We'd like to start with a quote saying that you don't grow a business, you grow people who grow a business. And that should be your case as well as a manager. You shouldn't be trying to do everything by yourself. You should work on growing your team, and your team will achieve your goals. We know from study that an average of 30% of your time is spent at tasks you shouldn't be doing. You should be delegating. 30%, meaning that it goes anywhere from 10-15% to 50%. Half of the time of some managers is spent doing things they should be delegating. So it's a sort of vicious circle many managers are in. They start not always well equipped to be a manager. They have been promoted and the pressure is on. They have more and more things to do. Stressing out, they try to do more, and they have less and less time to be able to educate and tell people in their team what to do, how to do it, and be able to spend the time necessary in order for them to take over this task and free up some of your time. So, because they don't have time anymore to teach and grow their team, they do it themselves. So the team doesn't grow, so the team doesn't take responsibility for the tasks. The goals are not reached, and there's more pressure, and you spend more time working, you're more exhausted, you have less time and energy for your team, etc., etc. And that's a vicious circle for so many managers. In order to be able to reverse this and go to a virtuous circle, you need once again to step back, step out of the wheel and start planning. And for delegation, you need to start with making a list of absolutely all the tasks you're performing along the week or the month. And then when you have the list of all the tasks, you need to estimate the time you're spending for each task every month. When you have this list with all the time, you've got a pretty nice picture of what you're doing. Then you need to go and see objectively what are the tasks that you could delegate to your team. All of them. Tick all the lines which are tasks that you could delegate. From that point, you could try to divide all those tasks you could delegate in 3 categories. The ones you could easily delegate almost immediately. The one which would require not much effort to delegate, and then the more long term, where you would need to really invest in order to be able to delegate. Then, when you've got your first list, all what you could delegate almost immediately, you need to start planning it. And so take your diary and say, okay, that day, next week, I'm going to spend an hour explaining to the people what they have to do, and that will be already some time you can delegate straight away. How many hours a week will it save you? All this principle about delegating is to create yourself a time account, meaning you've got credit, you've got debit. For a task, for example, you need to spend more time to explain, to teach, to train the person. You're going to look at, in the list of your tasks, how much time you spend on this task every month. Let's say you're spending 4 hours a month for this task. Then think about how many sessions will you need with the person you will delegate to in order for this person to be able to fully take over this task. How many hours? How many sessions? Is it 3-4 hours? Say, okay, let's say it's 4 hours. I'm going to have 4 sessions, the 3 first ones where I'm going to be with the person, first doing it and showing, then asking the person to try and being with the person to help, etc., etc. meaning that in your time account, you've got 4 hours you want to save every month. And you're going to need to invest only 4 hours, meaning that at the end of 1 month, you will have repaid already the 4 hours you will have invested. And by month 2, you're going to have 4 hours in your time account. And in order for those 4 hours not to be sucked in the flow of tasks, you need to really take those 4 hours and say, okay, that's my credit. How will I use it? If you're in this logic, and if you're consistent with your will to delegate, it's going to work. And you're going to find yourself with a credit in your time account, which you're going to be able to invest at what you should be doing primarily, which is working with your team, spending time to make them grow, to ask them questions, to encourage them, to praise them. All of that, it's about your determination to make a change and to step out of this vicious circle, making you turn crazy and exhausted and stressed more and more. You can change it, but you really need to commit in order for the change to occur. All up to you. Please post comments if you try it, see how it works. And if you have any questions, of course, ask me. And we'll find each other in part 4 for another aspect of management. Thank you.